Abraham and Sarah, after many years of waiting in faith, were finally blessed by God with a son. They named the child Isaac, a symbol of joy and the fulfillment of God's promise. From the moment the child was born, Abraham and Sarah's lives were filled with happiness. They continually taught Isaac valuable lessons, laying a strong foundation of trust in God. Isaac grew up surrounded by his parents' love and guidance. Abraham often told his son about the arduous journey he and Sarah had undertaken, from leaving their homeland to receiving God's blessings. These stories were not only lessons in faith, but also a spiritual heritage that Abraham wanted to pass on. Sarah, with the gentle heart of a mother, frequently reminded Isaac of the importance of patience and gratitude for the blessings they had received. However, their peaceful life was soon interrupted. One day, God put Abraham's faith to the ultimate test by commanding him to take Isaac to Mount Moriah to offer him as a sacrifice. This command caused Abraham immense anguish. He spent many nights on his knees in prayer, seeking the strength to follow God's will. Despite his heart being torn apart, Abraham knew that loyalty to God was paramount. During their journey to Mount Moriah, Isaac, unaware of his father's intentions, innocently asked, "Where is the lamb for the offering, Father?" Isaac's question was like a dagger to Abraham's heart. He could only reply, "God will provide a lamb for us." Though brief, Abraham's words reflected his unwavering faith in God's provision. Upon reaching Mount Moriah, Abraham built an altar and arranged the wood. He then asked Isaac to lie down on the altar. At that moment, Isaac realized the truth. Despite his fear, he did not resist. Isaac's trust in his father mirrored Jesus Christ's absolute trust in his heavenly Father. As Abraham prepared to offer Isaac, an angel of the Lord appeared and stopped him. The angel declared that Abraham's faith had been proven. Abraham then looked up and saw a ram caught in a thicket. God provided the ram as a substitute for Isaac. Abraham's heart was filled with gratitude, and he and Isaac offered the ram as a sacrifice, reaffirming their loyalty to God. Years later, Isaac grew up and married a virtuous woman named Rebekah. Their marriage was blessed by God, and they had twin sons, Jacob and Esau. From a young age, the brothers displayed contrasting personalities. Esau, the elder, was a skilled hunter but impatient and often acted impulsively. Jacob, the younger, lived a simple life, was thoughtful, and strove to please God. One day, after a long hunting trip, Esau returned famished. He begged Jacob for a bowl of stew. Seizing the opportunity, Jacob asked Esau to trade his birthright for the stew. Driven by hunger, Esau agreed, showing little regard for the spiritual and familial responsibilities tied to his birthright. As Isaac aged and became blind, he decided to bless Esau with the birthright. However, Rebekah, knowing that God had chosen Jacob, helped her younger son disguise himself as Esau to receive the blessing. Under his mother's guidance, Jacob approached his father and received the blessing. When Esau discovered what had happened, he was furious and vowed to kill Jacob. To protect himself, Jacob fled to Haran, where he met his uncle Laban. On his journey to Haran, Jacob had a miraculous dream. In his dream, he saw a ladder connecting earth and heaven, with God's angels ascending and descending. The Lord appeared to Jacob and promised to protect him, bless him, and make his descendants as numerous as the sand on the seashore. Upon waking, Jacob built an altar and vowed to give a tenth of everything he received to God. In Haran, Jacob met Rachel, Laban's daughter, and fell deeply in love with her. To marry Rachel, Jacob agreed to work for Laban for 7 years. However, Laban deceived Jacob and gave him his elder daughter, Leah, instead. Despite his disappointment, Jacob worked another 7 years to marry Rachel. Jacob's family grew, blessed with many children and wealth. After many years, God commanded Jacob to return to his homeland. On his way back, Jacob feared meeting Esau, who had once threatened to kill him. Jacob prayed all night, asking God to protect his family. During the night, he wrestled with an angel and was renamed Israel, meaning one who prevails with God. The next morning, Esau approached Jacob, but instead of anger, Esau embraced his brother with joy. The two reconciled, and Jacob continued his journey to his homeland, where his family grew into a great nation known as the Israelites. Throughout his life, Jacob remained faithful in worship and obedience to God's commandments. He often reminded his children and descendants of God's love and mercy, affirming that through every trial, God's plan always prevails.